I disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the Black community would be the stopping of violence, especially Black on Black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently, a $50,000 check. It's not going to fix anything.
But why should people who are sitting at home playing video games, smoking marijuana,
are you sitting at home playing a video game? Are you sitting at home playing a video game?
The people that they're wanting
Am
reparations
I sitting at home playing a video game? No.
The people
and I don't know I don't know who these people are that you're talking about, because the majority of the Black community is not sitting at home playing video games.
The majority of the Black community is doing a lot of things.
Where are you getting that
statistic? Who's killed more Black people, the Klan or us?
I would like to continue my statement. I let you speak uninterrupted.
Your claim about Black on Black crime, I really do believe, and I think a lot of people here do believe, especially based off of personal experiences and everything, that it is just lack of accountability. In the Black community, we need to start taking responsibility for our actions and stop pointing our fingers at other people and the white man.
So I'm originally from New Orleans, right? And I've seen Black on Black crime my whole life, right? Yes. I don't believe it have nothing to deal with the police. It's more with the community.
Let me call this out directly to the conservative panel on Jubilee featuring Amanda Seals. Every time the conversations turns to the Black community, conservatives always say Black men, as if all Black men are out here killing each other. You all never say some. You never say a small percentage. You say Black men as if it's all of us. That's not a critique, that's a smear. And it's intellectually lazy, false, and is deeply harmful to the Black men's ethnic image. To have a serious conversation about truth, data, and dignity, because far too often Black men are slandered by a false narrative that we are overwhelmingly criminals, that most of us are locked away, and that our communities are defined by crime.
I guess my issue is having had my biological father by a Black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a Black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing, what the white man is doing and all that, but at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that and why 6,000 to 9,000 Black men are gonna be homicided or whatever by the end of the year annually by other Black men, whereas the likelihood of a Black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. It's more likely that my own brother will rob and than a white man or a white officer. We gotta be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are Black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate?
There wasn't a lot of Black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other.
Let me be clear. I understand the per capita argument. Yes, per capita statistics show Black men are disproportionately represented in arrest and incarceration. But disproportion is not the same as majority. The reality is simple. The overwhelming majority of Black men and boys do not commit murders, do not commit violent crimes, and are not in prison. Here's the reality of crime and murder among Black men. As of 2023, there are 23.2 million Black males in the United States. According to the CDC and FBI data, homicide offending among Black men translate to about 70 per 100,000 in high-risk age groups. That means only 0.07% commit murder in a given year. To put it differently, over 99.9% of Black men and boys do not commit murder. And if you need an example of how this should be worded when you're talking on a public platform, here you go. Yes, per capita, the crime rates for Black men are higher compared to other groups, but we need to be precise about what that actually means. When you break the numbers down, we're really talking about only 0.7% to 1% of Black men committing those crimes, which means that 99% of Black men aren't even in this conversation. That's the distinction that people conveniently ignore when they weaponize crime statistics. They take a small percentage and smear it across the entire population of Black men. For one, that's sloppy, it's dishonest, and it fuels stereotypes that hurts us all. And to add further mass incarceration context, according to the Prison Policy Initiative's Whole Pie 2025, nearly 2 million people are incarcerated nationwide across across state, federal, local, and other facilities. Black Americans make up about 37% of this population, or roughly 740,000 individuals. Now, even if we were to assume that all 740,000 were black men and boys, which they are not, that would be only 3.1% of the black male population. That means 96.9% of black men and boys are not incarcerated. And further, here's what often gets left out. Not all black men in prison are there for violent crimes. In fact, a large share are serving time for drug offenses, property crimes, technical violations of probation or parole, or other non-violent charges. The idea that every incarcerated black man is a murderer is flat out false. This is where the conversation often gets manipulated. People talk endlessly about mass incarceration as if it defines all black men. But the truth is that over 98% of the black population is free. The focus on incarceration overshadows the reality of millions of black men who are living productive, law-abiding lives. And what's even more troubling is that many of the cases that put black men behind bars in the first place have later been proven false. Black men make up the highest share of wrongful convictions overturned by DNA evidence and exonerations. Time and time again, the system has punished innocent black men, only for the truth to come out years later. That makes it even more reckless when people casually point to incarceration as proof of criminality, because a disturbing percentage of those numbers represent men who never should have been locked up in the first place. With this next point, I'm specifically talking to the black community. I want you guys to let me know if you've heard this before. For black men born in 1981, the lifetime likelihood of going to prison was 1 in 3. For black men born in 2001, that risk has fallen to 1 in 5. And I know that doesn't seem like enough, but it's undeniable progress. And it proves that the narrative of all black men are criminals is outdated, false, and it's also shameful, especially for a black person to repeat it. So let me say this clearly to the black community. Any black person who repeats the lie that most black men are criminals is embarrassing themselves. You are weaponizing stereotypes against your own community. You are spreading disinformation that has been disproven by the very numbers I just laid out. You should be ashamed. The truth is this: black men are workers, fathers, entrepreneurs, leaders, and builders. The statistics show setbacks, yes, but they also show resilience. They also show improvement and the reality that crime does not define us. So in conclusion, the overwhelming truth is this: 99.9% of black men do not commit murder. Over 96% of black men are not in prison. The likelihood of imprisonment has dropped from 1 in 3 to 1 in 5. And not all who are incarcerated are in for violent crimes. Many are there for non-violent offenses or later proven innocent. The numbers don't lie. The people who twist them do. Let's bury this false narrative once and for all and replace it with the truth, dignity, and respect for the lives of black men. And let me close by saying this: I don't agree with many of Amanda Seales' views, especially on her personal experiences with black men and dating. But when it comes to black history, reparations, and the way that she handled herself against the people on that Jubilee panel, I agree with her 100%. On that front, she stood firm in her truth, and for that, she deserves credit. Thank you.
As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of black Americans.